of, would there be a reason why why Alex would be mentioning being with your grandmother? Like, were they close? Did they know each other? Did she pass when you were together?
So it's really funny. The very first, no, it was the second medium reading that I had after he passed. The lady said he's pointing to this lady and saying grandmother.
Yep.
And the first thing that popped in my head was my
Your
grandmother. And the
grandmother.
funny thing is, on my refrigerator, there's a picture of him and her next to each other because they both did this like raised eyebrow thing. And she passed almost, I think it's been 11 years. So he
Mm.
didn't ever know her, but I knew that they would really click if they
Like,
got to
I feel like
meet.
that's their hanging out on the other side. And
Yeah,
that's
I
like,
love
I
that.
had this really strong feeling of like, they want you to know that they got to meet. Like it's
Okay.
simply by your
I
intent.
just have chills all
Me
over
too.
my body.
Me, so
Yeah,
do I.
yeah.
So do I. I feel like
Mm.
I'm off to a good start here.
Oh my
Because
gosh,
I
yeah.
definitely had this awareness of like he just was like, I'm with your grandma, which I knew you would know what it meant. It's like does she have the name of a flower like rose or something? Or is that just like uh
She was an avid gardener, but
okay.
her nickname was Gertie Green Thumb. So we
Oh,
called
how
her Grandma Gert. So
that's so
yeah.
funny because I saw flowers all
Mhm.
around her, and I'm like, usually that'll mean like her name was Lily or Rose, or but it's just like I see her surrounded by flowers. There's just this real flower theme with her, which is really great. And is she mom's
Awesome.
mom for you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I felt. And then also, do you have a sister?
Yes.
'Cause just one?
Yes.
Okay, because there was an acknowledgement of her wanting to send love to your sister. Is your sister the younger one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's there was a feeling of like she's the baby, and so she just wanted to send love to. She's like, make sure you tell her that I'm here too. That's how it is because she just
Aw.
feels like a really sweet. Yeah, she like feels like a really really sweet lady. But there's also would you have said she was a religious person? Because I saw something about church around her. Like, did that come up last time?
She wasn't No, she wasn't really religious, but her whole family, including her sister, my great aunt, was in the church the whole, their
Okay,
their whole lives and
there
very
was some
kind of involved
connection.
with the church, but she wasn't really a religious person per se. But
Totally
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense because I'm
she's
just
yeah.
seeing church, or not even seeing it, just a sensation of church being kind of important
Okay.
to her. So
Mhm.
that would make sense, even if it's just something that she grew up around. And your dad's still with us, is he?
Yes.
Because she
Mhm.
wanted to acknowledge him. Were they particularly close? It feels like she
They
has an affection for him.
she definitely everyone loves my dad. And
That's
I think that, just as you say that, what comes to me immediately is he's just dealing with kind of late stage Alzheimer's.
okay. That makes
And
so much
her mom dealt with Alzheimer's and she took care of her. So I think that she's probably that's why, she always every time we talk, she said, give my love to Bill, let him know that I'm thinking of him. She loved him very much.
That's how
So
I
yeah.
felt her saying it. It was almost like give my love to your dad. And it would make sense too that she's really watching over him as he's going through this struggle, and so are you.
Yeah.
And there's something about playing the piano for him, or like somebody playing music for him, that's sort of a way that you connect with him. Is that something you do? I feel like somebody's playing the piano, or did he play piano?
Well, so there might be a little bit of cross messaging there because I actually have a baby grand piano that I have was my great grandmother's. Then my grandmother had it. Then my mom had it, and I have
Oh,
it now. And my great aunt was always the one playing the piano for everyone. But as far as my dad goes, like he's always been a music buff. And I was probably 3 years old. He
oh,
made me my first mixtape of classic rock. So it is very
oh,
much like when I listen to those songs, I always feel him, like I feel that connection that we had. We still have that connection over music.
is
Yeah.
Brown like the name Brown? Is there somebody with the last name Brown?
Alex's last name.
Holy shit. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that's his last name.
I heard it twice.
Yeah.
That's wild. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Thank you. Okay, so now he's showing me stars in the sky, which okay, great. Like you're behind me. But there's something connected with I don't know what it is exactly, but it's like, did you guys look at the stars together, or is it something when you look at the stars, you're talking to him, or is there a constellation? What is this?
Kind of both. So we definitely he was always kind of fascinated by my fascination with the moon and the stars and everything, and we would spend time outside under the stars, and in particular, Orion. For whatever reason, I've always been drawn to that particular constellation. And whenever I look at it, I don't know why, I just get this feeling of him and of home. And I don't it's always been there. My connection to Orion has always been there. But now I swear, even just 2 nights ago, I was coming home and I looked up and I saw it and I thought of Alex immediately. I don't know what that connection is exactly. We did talk about it. Like that was one
Yeah.
of the constellations that he could pick out. That's one that I always see. And he was like, "Oh, there's Orion, right?" And like, kind of learning it
Wow.
from me. So yeah,
That is
yeah.
so cool. He just wanted me to talk about a tattoo. Did he have a tattoo or many of, but but many of them? Okay, because
Many.
there was, he wanted me to talk about, I'm like, he's talking about tattoos, but let me get more specific with it. Um, and then I just saw Tweety Bird from Looney Tunes, if that means anything to you. That's so specific that I have no clue what that is.
He had Bugs Bunny on his
Looney
app.
Tunes. I was just
Yep.
gonna,
And
yes.
also what's also funny is my grandmother's nickname for me when I was little was Tweety Bird.
Okay. So, oh, they're so amazing the way that they brought that through. Cause I almost said
It's
it's
amazing.
either Tweety Bird or Looney Tunes something. Whole wow. There's something about a tattoo on his shoulder or his shoulders. You talked about being really attracted to his shoulders. They're like big and strong. I don't know. I see like very big, strong shoulders in a tank top. Does that make sense to you?
He loved showing off his guns, and he was very, like, his upper body especially, very, very attractive. Like, yeah.
Okay, this is so random. I'm saying it. Grape soda. There's something about grape soda. Or does that mean something to you?
It actually does.
Wow.
So it wasn't soda in particular, but there was we decided to make some THC infused drinks.
Yeah.
And he wanted to, like, he had this whole idea of kind of saving people from the cough syrup, the opioid epidemic, because he got
Yeah.
caught up in that a little bit. So he wanted to make the THC drinks that are like the lean. So we made grape THC concentrate juice like that. So
Clouds. And then there's something about clouds being in the shape of something else. Like you see a heart in the sky or something, and you're like, I mean, obviously we have, but it looks like something that definitely you knew was him. Was it a heart?
yeah.
Okay.
There have been a few different times I saw his face very, very, very clearly. Like it came out, it was all of his features very sharp. I've never seen anything so clearly.
Wow.
And that was pretty early on after he died. And then it right before it was like 2 days before our I Love You anniversary. He sent me, I swear I saw the whole scene played out in the clouds, because it was me laying on his chest in bed, and he lifted up my head to tell me he loved me, and like I seriously saw it play out in the clouds. I don't know how to
Yeah, well, that's
rationalize
what
it
he's
or
referencing,
whatever,
that
but
yeah, it's like he's referencing, I did send her a sign through the clouds where you knew it was me, and that was it. And then
100%.
there's something about spaghetti. I know, did he love spaghetti, or was it like, tell me about that.
Yeah, I definitely spaghetti was one of his favorites. I made it
So funny.
several times and he loved my spaghetti, but the funny thing was, like, he he learned to eat it differently with me, because he said he always made sandwiches out of spaghetti. Like he'd make a spaghetti sandwich with the
That's
noodles and everything.
disgusting.
I know. And I was like, no, we don't do that around here. So I'd make it, and I made like spaghetti squash, and made it all like fancy. And he's like, wow, this is just next level spaghetti. So
Oh, that's funny. That's what the joke is, because he's got a lot of jokes up his sleeve. That's the feeling, like when I see him, he's really
jokester.
funny guy. He's like really funny. He's really like lovable. I feel like he's like a
Oh
big
my
teddy
God.
bear kind of thing. He's just got like he has a good sense of humor. Sometimes it's corny, but he's
Yes.
actually got like a really, he's affable. Oh, I get such chills. He also just gave
Yeah.
me a hug. He gave me a hug, which is really unusual. It's like a friend, like thank you, like he was a thank you hug, like instead of hugging you, he hugged me, which was like really sweet.
Mm.
I know he's also hugging you, but it was like he wanted to, he's just like, like he's someone that, when people say when someone dies, it's like he never met a stranger. And that's like the feeling that I have of him.
That's exactly, I can't tell you how many people have said exactly those words about him. Like that is him to a T. He would hug people, everyone was his friend, always, asking the janitor at work or the cashier, whoever it was, like he was friends with everyone. It was amazing.
I'm the
Yeah.
same way. And I think that's why
Yeah.
he and I get along so well. And that's why he gave
Yeah.
me a hug to be like, you're my friend, because
Aw.
I'm like that too. I just want to hug everybody. And I'm always see people.
Mhm.
It's
Me
like,
too.
I love
Yeah.
people. Yeah. I just let,
Yeah,
I,
we were both and hugs were a really kind of special thing for us because I think the way that he hugged and the way that I hug are very much like it's not just a, patting on the back. It's like a whole body like embrace and heart to heart connection. Like it was hugs were a really big thing for us actually.
I saw Orphan Annie, like Annie, but like, is Annie someone's name or the redhead
Mm.
maybe? But I just wanted to get it
Redhead.
just in case.
Okay.
Um,
The redhead part definitely resonates. So there's something there for sure.
Okay,
His
it could
yeah.
be more about the red hair than Annie herself. It was just I saw
Okay.
her with her curly red hair. So if just ask for more if that's something he wants me to talk about. There's also something about money that just came through to me, giving you money, giving you giving you money.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense because I know that something that he more than likely, I don't know, I don't necessarily believe in the concept of regrets,
Yeah,
but I do know that something that weighed on him heavily in this life was that he owed me. I paid for a lawyer for him and for his custody hearing, and he
100%.
never got a chance to pay that back to me, and I
100%.
know that yeah,
100%. I know
yeah,
that's what it is because it was like he was showing me handing you money. Like like he gave me big chills. Like he just wanted, that you forgave him. You weren't mad about it, but
no,
he's like, no, I'm not that kind. Like he's such a good guy that he would never have let a debt go unpaid.
no
So
way.
he was
He was
letting you know,
He
I
was
acknowledge
very,
I owe
very
you money.
adamant about that. Yeah, he was very adamant that yeah, he could borrow $20 and he'd give it back to me as soon as he could. It was that thing, and he kept track of every single dime he ever owed me, and that, yeah, he just never got a chance to pay it back,
It's
and
an
I know he
IOU.
would have. That was never, yeah,
Totally. Like
right,
it's like he's
yeah.
showing me like I want to give you like I want to give you money. There might even be a way that he finagles it from the other side. So look out for something like that where all of a sudden you're like, where did this come from? Like suddenly you get a
Interesting.
call that's like, oh, you overpaid your taxes in
Uh,
1997 or like I'm gonna
well,
make sure you get it back.
something kind of interesting 'cause just on Friday last week I had my performance review with my manager, and I ended up getting way more of a bonus than I expected to get. Like
Oh,
it was substantially more than what
you
I
know what?
expected
Let's go with that that
because yeah,
he had
yeah.
something to do with that because I feel like he's
It didn't make
literally
sense.
giving
Like
you
it was
money.
a number. Yeah, it was a number that didn't make sense because after he died, I took off 2 months last year and then I worked part-time for 2 months. There's no way that my bonus should have been what it was because they calculate it based on your time. So I was like, how did that work? The
Oh,
math doesn't work out. So
that's
yeah,
what it is. I
yeah.
swear that's what he's telling me because he keeps
And
going, no, I'm
that's
paying her back. Like
yeah,
it's not
that's
it's not done. It's like she's going to get money that wasn't expected. And just know that was me trying to pay
yeah.
you for what you did for me.
And that's my plan with it is to pay that debt down. So,
Oh,
100%.
that's so
Yeah,
awesome. For some reason,
yeah.
I just saw a big sun. Like it looked like a cartoon of a sun, but I almost want to say you are my sunshine, but which is that song relevant to the two of you?
Um, I have this, it wasn't something that we ever really talked about or acknowledged that much, but in my office, I do have this board that says "You are my sunshine," and
Oh,
I
oh
do
wow.
still. I sometimes look at that and I think of
I
him.
think to go through real estate. Are you selling a house, buying a house?
I've been kind of thinking about buying some income property, not so far as looking for
Yeah.
anything yet, but I've been playing with the idea of it.
Okay. Did you make him a special lunch for him to go to work with?
A lot, yeah. I would actually, one of my things was making lunch and taking it to him at work during his lunch breaks.
No
So
one does that. Like that's
I
not a
know.
thing that people do since the 50s. So that's why he brought it up as making my, because he kind of shows me like like you would for a kid, like a lunchbox and like bringing him his special, he called it his special lunch. That's how I feel it with like carrot sticks. It just feels like making sure there's some
Yeah.
vegetables in there and making sure there's a sandwich and just acknowledging the way that you really took such good care of him. Like a mom, like a mom takes care and just like so many, that's like I love him because so many men would, I don't know if they think that was too much or whatever, but he's the kind of guy that loves that stuff. It's like
Yes.
for him, he likes to be mothered. He likes the
Yeah.
feeling of
He
that.
loved me doting on him. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like marbly, like a stone, like purple.
Uh-huh.
It looked like purple with like blue swirls in it or something, like purple and blue kind of swirly ball.
Okay. I had a glass artist actually blow some of his ashes into a sphere, and it has these purple and blue kind of colors swirled throughout.
Wow.
Yeah, it's right over there. I have it on a lighted stand, and I turn the light on every day so I can see all the colors coming through, and I see his ashes like swirled in there with it. It's really beautiful.